Have you ever just wanted to free fall? Say screw it and free fall into the unknown? The thought of it scares the shit out of me. But the freedom in it sounds exhilarating. In that moment, I am completely free. No judgments, no expectations, no hate, no worries, just me. Me becoming one with who I am and who I want to be. If this is the end, so be it. I will cross my fingers and hope for the next place I see to be a better world. A world where all feel safe. A world where fear and hate is at an all-time low. A world where we understand each other. A world where we are allowed to be different. A world where we respect each other and our uniqueness. A world where new ideas, the imagination, and evolving are always welcome. I don't know about you, but asking questions in order to understand and possibly even thinking differently, well, they were forbidden growing up. Questions and new thoughts. Look out, because there's a lightning bolt with my name on it. Death will be my fate for thinking outside the box, or at least that is what was implied. But why? Why am I not allowed to explore new ideas? Why am I not allowed to see the world differently than others? Why am I not allowed to ask questions? From a mother's answer of, because I said, just do what I told you, to a teacher's response of, don't ask questions, just do what you're told. To a boss's reaction, don't ask questions, just do what I told you. Even the religion I grew up with, you are only allowed to think this way. Never stray from thinking this way. You must only think this way, no matter how much more something else made sense to me. But why am I not allowed to ask why? Why am I not allowed to question things? Why am I not allowed to understand? And if the explanation I am being given still does not make sense, then why am I not allowed to find one that does? From the time we are born until 18 years of age, we are learning, experiencing, growing mentally and physically. And with each growth spurt, we change just a little, slowly transforming. Every year, new things happen, new insights that may change how one sees the world tomorrow. And then we turn 18. Society's definition of an adult. So do you feel any different? No, not really. I kind of feel the same way as I did yesterday. Nothing physically or even emotionally actually happens the day we turn 18 because it is only a number. But a lot is expected when we reach that magic number. For I now crown you an adult. You now must know what career you want. Are you going to college? If so, where and what for? Where are you going to live? How are you going to pay the bills? Who are you going to get married to? And how many kids are you planning on having? Well, you don't need to know all that stuff today, but you better have it all figured out in the next year or you are doomed. Doomed? We each grow up walking down a select few paths from baby to that magic age, and more than likely, it is pretty similar to the path of our parents, grandparents, and whomever raised us, because that is the path they knew. We live from baby to adult, reading and living someone else's story. We are told how to eat, think, learn, and be by someone else's standards. And a lot of us come out of that situation going, okay, this is life. We accept it and move on at 18 to continue whatever path that was instilled in us. And then we pay it forward to the next generation. Don't ask questions, just do what you're told. But we don't stop evolving at 18. Once we step out into this great big world, we see there are other possibilities. this isn't everyone's norm. Weird. But we find ourselves soon rushed into making life-altering decisions the second we become society's definition of an adult. And why? We just spent 18 years pretty much living someone else's life, and now I'm expected to know exactly who I am and what I want for the rest of my life? Well, that doesn't really make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. That's just how it is. Just go with it. But I don't want to just go with it. Why is that the consensus? And why am I just expected to take that as is? Much like the notion given to me that the only way I will reach complete fulfillment in life is by being a mother. That may be true for some, but I don't want to be a mother. Maybe there's just something wrong with me. Maybe I should just deal with it, right? By this certain age, she must give birth to another human being where she will be responsible for not only keeping it alive, but molding it into a happy, healthy, and functioning adult. No pressure. Why? Why do I have to take on this responsibility? And if I don't, why does that mean something is wrong with me? Who decided that was the end-all be-all for every woman? Who made the decision that she could not possibly find fulfillment and happiness in, I don't know, just living whatever life she chooses, in whatever intuitively makes her happy? For years I was told, you don't think you want kids, but just have them, you'll see after. And for years I was made to feel guilty because I didn't feel deep down in my soul that was the life I wanted. It's just selfish to not have children. It's selfish to not purposely bring a child, a human being into this world when every cell in my body is screaming at me not to. Why? I walked the edge for years, almost giving in to the pressure, but a strong force inside me refused. I would rather take ridicule, judgment, and stereotypes and not listen to what every part of my soul was telling me. A trail of words brushes past me. Your clock just hasn't started ticking yet, hun. Or maybe it's broken. Maybe I'm broken. Broken? How do we even know that all women are born with this supposed clock? Not everyone can whistle. Not everyone is right-handed. Not everyone likes the same things in life. Not everyone is exactly the same. As a matter of fact, none of us are exactly the same. And yet all women must want exactly the same things in life? You know, it's funny. These rules that have been created for women around the world, who created them and why? Have you ever wondered that? Why do I have to follow these rules? Do this, don't do that, think this way, dress this way, live this way, have children, don't speak, don't have emotions, don't think, be perfect. Be what I want you to be. Why? When do we get to dress how we want for the sole purpose of making us feel good and not for the sole purpose of making you feel good? When will be the time that a woman doesn't have to pay the price for your lack of self-control? For if you could master that, then women could finally be free. Yes, I am pointing at the elephant in the middle of the room. Why must women be punished because men refuse to learn self-control? Whether it's cover yourself up or take it all off. Why is it our responsibility to do these things because you don't know how to control yourself? Why can a man find fulfillment in everything, but a woman can only find fulfillment in motherhood or his dick? Was that how it was in the Stone Age? But we didn't know a lot back then, did we? I mean, they used to think that knowledge would ruin a woman. But we all know knowledge is power, right? We don't really think about that, do we? Maybe there is more to humans, more to a woman, than what we define them as thousands of years ago. I may not remember the day I was born, but I'm pretty sure I didn't pop out with the nurse handing me a pen while the doctor held the contract where I signed away my vagina, my uterus, my freedom to think differently, to think for myself, to dress how I like, to ask questions, to learn, to be able to take whatever time I need to get to know me, my freedom to choose to have children or not have children, and to follow my own intuition, my own beat, my own path, even if it leads to a different path than your norm. No, I don't recall the signing of that contract. You may have defined me before my time, but who gave you that right? Because they were wrong. Women are strong. Women are intelligent. Women are powerful. Women deserve respect and to be listened to, because not only can women be great mothers, but they can also be great teachers, inventors, presidents, speakers, doctors, athletes, artists, chefs, actresses, world travelers. Women can and have changed the world for the better. So why must I follow these rules? Well, these rules were made thousands of years ago. So let me get this straight. The thinking that controls my body, my life, my future is from thousands of years ago? Thousands of years ago? Thousands of years ago was a completely different world. What we have the capability to understand today is so much more than thousands of years ago. Think of a child. Ask them what the meaning of life is and their interpretation of the world. And when they reach their 20s, ask them those same questions, and again in their 40s and 80s. The answers will most likely be different every time. An adult is not going to think the same as what they did when they were 6, because they have explored new ideas, understood, learned, and evolved. And that is just in the span of one lifetime. And yet, some of our ways of thinking are not allowed to evolve from thousands of years ago? Wouldn't that be no different than stopping a child from being able to learn and grow? How did people interpret the world back then? Did they truly have it all figured out? Did they understand everything in its entirety? In 1770, Captain James Cook's ship ran aground off the coast of Australia, and he led a party into the country, and they met the Aboriginal people. One of the sailors pointed at the animals that hop around and put their babies in their pouch, and he asked what they were. And the Aborigine said, kangaroo. And your point is? It wasn't until later that they learned that kangaroo means I don't understand. That was a scene from a favorite movie of mine. The story is not true, but the thought behind it I found very interesting. Did humans back in the day have it all figured out? Could there have been a word or two, a meaning or three that could have been misinterpreted? You have no regrets, not even a single letter. This is how it has always been done. This is what has always been taught. This is tradition. It is written. Why, in some cases, just because something is written down, does that make it a fact? Anyone can write a book. Doesn't make it a fact. Although a part of me really would love to believe the Harry Potter series was real. I'm just saying. What is a fact? A fact is something that has been proven to be true, and nothing can prove it otherwise. So in order for something to be proven to be true, one would have to compare that thought with other thoughts in order to rule out the other ideas. You can't just say, for instance, that women are the lesser gender and call that a fact. What is your proof? Are all men smarter than all women? No, we have proven that not to be true on multiple occasions. Men in general may be physically stronger, but just because you can hold someone down and force them to do something doesn't make you the better gender. It makes you a bully and a predator. The ability to hurt, demolish, beat, cause suffering, and kill, although men have become quite skilled at it, does not make you the better gender. I'm not even sure that's something to be proud of. But maybe there's no such thing as the better gender. Being better gives the impression of finality. You are this and I am that. But that is not true. We all have the ability to learn, and as long as we are still learning, then we are all still evolving, just at different rates that are always fluctuating. So, a statement made, a piece of paper that has been written on, your grandpa's advice, are not facts until they can be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, and no one can prove it otherwise. Everything else is just opinions and theories. And let's not forget about the fine print that reminds us that what may be fact today may not be tomorrow, because our thought, our consciousness, as was just stated, is constantly evolving. How we saw and understood something yesterday could be moot today by merely a new thought. But what if we refuse to think? What if we refuse to allow ourselves to have new thoughts? Just because you put on a blindfold and believe doesn't make it a fact either. I never really understood that whole blind faith thing. If I'm going to follow someone, a mentor for instance, why would I not want to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing? Why would I not want to know for sure that what I'm being taught is correct and true? Why would I not want to ask questions along the way? Don't questions lead to understanding? It makes it very hard to see the best path to take when you have a blindfold on. Your path may have worked for you, but maybe there is a better path for me out there. I mean, we are different people. Plus, if your path is so great, then why are you worried about me going a different way? Don't ask questions, just do what you're told. But how will we ever learn, grow, and evolve if we never ask questions? How will we ever know unless we allow ourselves to be open to new ideas? The free will to think, to ask questions, to analyze is truly a gift. It has led to so many amazing inventions that have changed our world for the better. Believing one is not allowed to think differently, to ask questions, and explore new ideas? I'm sorry, but you are not allowed to think here. This is a no thinking and a no question zone. Please just follow the directions of your ancestors. No, they knew everything, so there is no need for you to think. Well, isn't that exactly what free will is? Being able to think how I choose? If I conform to that, am I not throwing away the very thing that makes me who I am? That makes me stand out amongst the rest? Am I not giving up my right to grow and evolve? But they wrote it down. So, hasn't the book of medicine changed over time? My goddess, where would medicine be today if people were not allowed to explore new ideas, try new things, and let it evolve into what it is today and what it will change into down the road? What if doctors were still living by the original thoughts of medicine? Think about that. Please don't be afraid to ask questions. Please don't be afraid to explore new ideas. Please don't be afraid to listen to yourself, your intuition. Please don't be afraid to question your traditions, beliefs, and why you do what you do. Please don't be afraid of change and evolving for the better. For none of us signed a contract saying we have to be completely the same. None of us sign a contract saying we have to live and think exactly like our ancestors. And unlike popular belief, none of us has all the answers. We are still learning new things every day. There are many theories out there in this great big world. Explore and ask questions until you find the answers that make sense to you. We may be all humans, but each and every one of us is unique and allowed to follow our unique paths. I'm allowed to be different. I'm allowed to think differently than the norm. I'm allowed to think outside the box if I feel compelled to. I'm allowed to ask questions, think, explore new ideas, analyze, change, and evolve from my ancestors if I so please. I am allowed to be me, and I am allowed to dream of a better world for all, and so are you.